All right, we are live. Welcome, Taking Authority community. I hope that you are having a wonderful Tuesday. It is gorgeous outside today. I don't know if any of you have gotten an opportunity to step outside, but the sun has been shining and it's just been wonderful. So, I wanted to just come in because I haven't done a video for a good minute, and I wanted to just introduce who I am and what the Taken community or Taken Authority community is all about. So I've been putting out different videos from our TV show, Taken Authority, on different topics. And we created this community just to be a support to you and to talk about different topics that you want to hear about and want to support you during this time. I know that a lot of people are in their homes and trying to think of different things to do so that they won't be stir crazy. If you have family with children and everything, or you're trying to think about different ways that you can engage them and keep your sanity and spend some time with your spouse or your significant other. And sometimes that can be challenging. I know that I have found myself, depending upon what week it was, one week I'll be okay. And then the next week it's like, oh my gosh, I got to get out of here. I got to get some activity going. So today I just wanted to again introduce myself. And if you are tuning in, if you will say hello and welcome, I welcome you. One of the things that I wanted to touch on is I put a post out yesterday on Facebook. And the question was, what does a healthy relationship look like? So that can come in a myriad of different answers. I think one of the things that we want to make sure is that how we identify our relationship, how we view what healthy really is. I had one person that I'm gonna turn off my music here. I was in here jamming to Michael Jackson Butterflies. But anyways, one of the things that I had somebody that responded is a healthy relationship is something that where two people have open communication. They're not judging each other. They're very supportive of each other and their goals and their dreams. They're also very respectful of each other and they value each other's opinion. So that was one thing that I response that I got back on yesterday. But I was really interested in hearing some other people and what your thoughts might be on what does a healthy relationship really look like for you. I know again during this time that we're in our homes trying to have that quality time with your spouse or your significant other can sometimes be a little strained just because if you're like me, I have three children and they're very busy. They are all doing online learning, even though they are different ages. And so, trying to be present for them and making sure that I also work out of my home, and being present for myself, and then having the quality time for my spouse and I can sometimes be challenging. So one of the things that I will encourage you is to make time, first of all, for yourself, because you can't pour from an empty cup. So you want to make sure that you're getting your quality time. So if that's early in the morning, for me, I'm an early riser. So I love to get up in the morning and start my day with prayer and meditation is one of the biggest things that helps me to center myself and start out my day. And then after I get myself centered, then I can be present for getting my children up for their online learning. I can help my husband and we can talk and go back and forth on the things that we need to get done for the day. So I would definitely encourage you to take time for yourself in establishing a relationship. We talk about healthy relationship. We want it to be the total package, mind, body, and spirit. So you can't really be present with everything that's going on, especially right now, if you're not centered and if your head is all over the place and if you're worried and stressed out, then that's going to spill over into how you interact with your children. That's going to spill over into your time with your spouse or your significant other. And so again, you just want to be mindful of that. Something else that I will encourage you also to do is, just to give yourself permission to not be perfect, because again, during this time, we've all been put into a unique situation where we're not able to move about as we once were. And so, coming up with different ways to stimulate your mind, whether that be playing video games, sometimes, that helps with people, just depending upon what type of person you are. Sometimes it's just good to be able to watch a movie that has nothing to do with anything tragic. For me, I love watching cartoons. And so watching cartoons just get me in the mode of just laughter and being able to relax. I don't have to worry about what's going to be for dinner. I don't have to worry about a bill that I have to pay for or how that bill is going to get paid. So it just depends. I think this time, really, when you talk about a healthy relationship, is really thinking outside of the box and being creative in terms of how you're going to spend your time. You definitely don't want to exhaust or exert so much energy in worrying about how things are going to happen. But if you are a spiritual person, knowing that you're going to be taken care of. And one of the things that gets you in that mindset again is what you speak. And so what comes out of your mouth, what you speak, is what's going to come. That's what's going to manifest. And so for me, during this time, I would just encourage you to speak positive things around what's going on. So, your kids might be asking you a million questions. They might be running around the house, but one of the things that I think is so phenomenal is that I'm able to be here, so that I can and spend time with my kids, so that I can impart some of my knowledge on them in terms of how they're learning. So it's not just a touch and go, but I can actually sit there with them and really try to understand their process and how they're learning. So again, that is something that I think is very important. I'm gonna look here and see who is what questions we're having right now. So, one of the questions I see is, how can single people identify if someone is ready to be in a healthy relationship? Well, that's a wonderful question. Thank you for putting that out there. I think, during this time, it can be even more so challenging if you find yourself not in a relationship that is like your main person that you're dating, but you consider yourself to be single. Um, it's to me, I think it depends upon the conversation that you're having with that person that you're spending time with, or that you're interested in spending time with, is being open about what it is that you're looking for, so that y'all can be on the same page. Because a lot of times we get disappointed because of the expectation that we might have in a situation, and the other person that you're talking about wanting to speak with is on a totally different playing field than what you are. And so then we go in expecting that, oh, this is going to be, we're exclusive, we're dating, and we're not seeing anybody else, where this other person is like, well, no, I talked to you, I talked to this other person, and so I'm all about having fun. So I would say to that question is for you to really make sure that you have that conversation with the person that you're interested in, and also what your expectation is going into the relationship, because you waste a lot of time if both people aren't on the same page. And nobody has time for, getting into a situation that's uncomfortable, that you're, feeling rejected, and there's a lot of, games being played. We don't have time for that. This is 2020. We're trying to live our best life, and whatever that is for you, then we need to make sure that that other person that we're interested in is going in that same direction. So the final thing that I will say, this time is really run out very quickly. I didn't want to spend too much time. Is how are you celebrating yourself? We talked about healthy relationships and about having identifying open communication, being non-judgmental, being respectful. But how are you actually celebrating you? I'm a very big advocator of self-care and celebrating where you are and who you are. I mean, again, going back to being positive, You can talk a million ways about what you don't have and what's going wrong, and about this situation that we're in our homes, and is it ever going to get better, and things like that. What I'm encouraging you to do is to celebrate even this week. From last week to this week, things are changing so rapidly. We're hearing a lot of information on the news. We're hearing about tragic losses, and it can really put you in a mindset to be just bummed out and just overwhelmed. So, one of the ways that I pull myself out of feeling that way is to celebrate where I am. So, from last week to this week, I had a lot on my plate. And so, for me not to be in a place of being stressed out, I had to break those things apart and really say, okay, I'm not going to be able to complete all of these things this week. So I can prioritize and put some things to the side and focus on what's going to be most important. Well, for me, what was most important today was to really get on this live and be able to impart some encouragement to you, the Taken Authority community, and saying to you that no matter where you find yourself, that there God is a present help. And I am very spiritual, so I will say, that I'm not a religious person, but I am very spiritual, and that God is a refuge in the time of trouble. And I want to encourage you that as we continue to have these conversations, taking authority is about taking control of your life. What is your preferred future? If that preferred future right now for you is just to survive and get out of what we're dealing with right now, that's wonderful. But even in the midst of all of that, there's still great times to be had. You're still, hopefully safe with your family. And if you know someone who has been affected by COVID 19, I just want to send a special prayer out to them. I'm praying for you and your family, for those who are dealing with significant loss, whether it be of a job or your finances have been affected. I am right there with you, and I am praying for you. And I know that even during this time that we can release all of those things, and we know that God has us in the palm of his hand. So I just want to end that. I thank you for being a part of taking authority community today, and my goal is for me to do more lives like this so that we can have more intimate conversations. So as you're listening today, if there's things that resonated with you, I want you to feel free to just comment. Let me know other topics that you want to hear and talk about, as I'm very open to serving you and just being an encouragement to you. And I know that as I am an encouragement to you, that you can then go and can encourage someone else. Be sure to like, subscribe, and follow Taken Authority community. That's Paulicia Aguilar Ministries. You can also follow us on Facebook at Taken Authority TV, and we would love to hear from you. And we're just, again, sending well wishes and blessings out to you and your family. Thank you, and have a wonderful week.